Blood isn't just a bond, it's a curse. Episode 3 of Blood of My Blood takes that truth and shatters it across every character's life. Nothing is the same anymore. The choices made in this episode don't just burn bridges, they set the whole family on fire. Betrayals cut deeper than knives, promises crumble like dust, and by the end, we're left asking one question: when blood turns against blood, who survives? Episode 3 begins not with peace, but with silence, the kind of silence that carries. Tension heavier than screams. The family sits at the table, but no one truly eats. Eyes dart, hands tremble, and the unspoken weight of past betrayals fills the air. Every glance feels like a warning, every word feels like it hides a secret, and then it begins. The fragile calm shatters when the eldest son, Arman, finally speaks. He has discovered the truth about the missing inheritance money, and he knows exactly who took it. His words cut through the silence like a blade, turning the table into a battlefield. What follows is a storm of confessions and half-lies. Arman accuses his brother Raza of stealing what their late father had promised to divide equally, but Raza doesn't deny it. Instead, he smirks a dangerous smirk that says he planned this all along. Raza declares that he took what he believed was rightfully his because he claims the father always favored Arman. The tension rises until the younger sister, Meher, tries to calm them, but her voice is lost in the chaos. What was once a family meeting turns into a war council. The drama doesn't stop there. In the shadows of these family arguments, another story brews. An old family enemy makes a return. Farid, the man once exiled for betraying the bloodline, watches from afar. Episode 3 shows him following the family's every move, waiting for the perfect time to strike back. His appearance, even in short scenes, adds a sense of dread. He isn't here for forgiveness. He's here for revenge, and the way he lingers outside the family estate proves he knows their house of loyalty is already crumbling from within. Meanwhile, secrets of the past begin to surface. Meher discovers a hidden letter written by their father before his death. The letter hints at a truth no one expected, that the family's fortune and honor were built on a deal soaked in betrayal. But before Meher can reveal it, she is interrupted, and the letter slips back into hiding, setting up a mystery that haunts the rest of the episode. The breaking point of episode 3 comes in its final moments. Arman, desperate to keep the family together, challenges Raza to stand with him, but Raza refuses. Instead, he swears that blood ties mean nothing when respect is lost. His words leave the room cold, as if the bond of family has been buried for good. The camera closes on Arman's face, broken but unyielding, whispering to himself that no matter the cost, he will not let the family destroy itself from within. Episode 3 ends with a haunting image, the family portrait on the wall, cracked down. The middle, as though even the walls of the house know the bloodline is breaking apart. The silence returns, but it's not peace, it's the silence before the next storm, in episode 3. Every character bleeds in a different way, not with wounds, but with truths. The episode isn't just about conflict. It's about how each person transforms under the crushing weight of betrayal, loyalty, and survival. What makes it powerful is that no one walks away the same. Arman, the eldest son, steps fully into the role of reluctant guardian. From the very first scene, he carries the burden of his father's shadow. For years, he believed loyalty and honor could bind the family together. But episode 3 forces him to see the cracks that even love cannot mend. His confrontation with Raza is not just about money, it is about respect, about dignity, about being seen as the rightful heir. Yet what makes Arman fascinating is that even in his anger, he does not choose hatred. He speaks with fire, but there's always a hint of sorrow in his voice. He is a man who still hopes, even as everything he loves is burning. By the end of the episode, his arc bends toward resolve. His whispered vow, "I will not let us fall apart," shows a man who realizes that blood isn't just shared. It must be fought for. Raza, on the other hand, emerges as the most dangerous force in the family. His character takes a dark turn in this episode. No longer hiding behind charm or silence, Raza shows his true face, ambitious, cold, and unforgiving. When he admits to taking the inheritance, it isn't shame that defines him, it is pride. He believes he is carving out his own destiny, no matter who stands in the way. And yet, beneath his arrogance, there is pain. His bitterness toward his father's favoritism has eaten him alive, twisting him into a man who measures love in wealth and power. Episode 3 paints Raza not as a villain, but as a wounded son whose scars have become weapons. His arc moves him from brother to adversary, a shift that sets the stage for future destruction. Then there is Amira, the sister caught in the storm. In Episode 3, she becomes the silent witness of both betrayal and revelation. Her discovery of the letter places her at the center of a secret that could reshape the entire family's future. Unlike her brothers, she does not raise her voice. She doesn't fight at the table, nor does she throw accusations. Instead, her power comes from observation. She is the one who sees what the others cannot, the way Farid lurks in the shadows, the way their mother hides her trembling hands. In her silence there is strength, and yet she is also torn. She loves both her brothers, but she knows choosing one means losing the other. Her arc in Episode 3 is the quiet rise of a character who may one day become the only true leader. Of the bloodline, their mother, Amira, adds another layer of tragedy. She barely speaks in Episode 3, but when she does, her words are heavy with guilt. For years, she held the family together with rituals and traditions, but now, she is forced to watch as her sons destroy one another. The camera lingers on her face as she hears them argue, her silence screaming louder than their words. We see in her eyes the weight of secrets. She still carries secrets about the father, about the fortune, about the letter Meher almost reveals. Her arc in Episode 3 is subtle but powerful. She is not just a grieving widow. She's the keeper of truths that could break them all. And then, in the shadows, Farid's arc begins. He is not yet fully part of the story, but his presence haunts every scene he appears in. The way he watches from a distance, the way his eyes burn with hatred, tells us that his journey is one of vengeance. For years he was cast out, and now he returns not as a beggar, but as a predator waiting for weakness. His arc in Episode 3 is the spark of something larger. Reminder that the family's greatest enemy may not come from the outside world, but from its own blood. Together, these arcs form the spine of Episode 3. Arman becomes the reluctant protector, Raza becomes the rival, Meher becomes the quiet guardian of secrets, Amira becomes the silent mourner, and Farid becomes the storm on the horizon. Each of them takes a step toward transformation, and every step drags the family deeper into darkness. By the end of Episode 3, it is clear this is no longer just a family drama. This is a battlefield where every character is a soldier, armed. Not with swords, but with betrayals, secrets, and ambitions. And the war has only just begun. Episode 3 of Blood of My Blood isn't just a story of betrayal, it's a tapestry woven with recurring themes and powerful symbols that speak louder than the characters' words. Every detail feels intentional, every image carries weight, and together they reveal the deeper meaning of this fractured family's journey. The most striking theme is blood itself. Blood is not simply family, it is the thread that binds and the blade that cuts. Throughout the episode, the camera lingers on small, almost unnoticeable moments that tie back to this idea. A glass of red wine spilling across the table during Arman and Raza's fight. A cut on Raza's hand after he slams his fist against the chair. Even the cracked family portrait, its split line running through the father's chest, mimics the image of a wound. These details remind us that blood in this world is never pure. It is always stained, spilled, or broken. The title of the series becomes more than a phrase. It becomes a warning. Blood will betray blood. Another theme is inheritance, not just of wealth, but of sins. The hidden letter Meher finds is a perfect example. The words hint at a truth buried in the father's past, a secret that suggests the fortune they are fighting over was never clean to begin with. This creates a chilling idea. The children are not only fighting for their father's legacy, but also paying the price for his mistakes. Their rage is not born in the present. It is inherited, passed down like a curse. In this sense, inheritance becomes poison, and Episode 3 shows how it spreads through the family, Infecting them one by one, silence is another recurring theme. Silence hangs over the family dinner. Silence follows Meher as she hides the letter. Silence wraps around Amira as she watches her sons tear each other apart. But this silence is not emptiness, it is weight. It is the silence of unspoken truths. The silence of fear, the silence that grows when words can no longer heal wounds. Episode 3 uses silence as both weapon and shield. It is what protects secrets, but it is also what destroys trust. The theme of loyalty and betrayal runs through every scene. Arman's loyalty to the family clashes with Raza's loyalty to his own ambition. Meher's loyalty is torn between love for her brothers and duty to the truth. Amira's loyalty to her husband's memory keeps her trapped in silence, while Farid's loyalty to vengeance drives him closer to their downfall. Betrayal, then, becomes inevitable, not because they wish to hurt each other, but because their versions of loyalty can never align. Episode 3 paints betrayal not as an accident, but as destiny. Visually, the episode leans heavily on symbolism. The family dining table is perhaps the most powerful symbol of all. Once a place of unity, it becomes a stage for war. Plates of untouched food symbolize the hunger that can never be satisfied, hunger for respect, hunger for power, hunger for love. The way the table is shot, with sharp shadows and fractured angles, makes it feel less like a home and more like a courtroom where judgment is passed. Another symbol is the letter itself. It is more than paper, it is the weight of hidden truth. In Meher's trembling hands, it becomes a symbol of choice: reveal the past and shatter the present, or bury the truth and let the future rot. Every time the letter appears on screen, the tension spikes because it represents the power of knowledge and the danger of it being silenced. Farid's reappearance carries its own symbolism. The way he is filmed, always in the background, never in the center, makes him feel like a shadow, a ghost haunting the family. He is less a man and more an omen. His presence symbolizes the past returning, a reminder that blood debts are never forgotten. Each time we see him, it feels like the family's sins are being watched, weighed, and prepared for judgment. Finally, the cracked portrait at the end of the episode ties everything together. The portrait, once a symbol of unity, becomes a mirror of destruction. The crack through the father's chest symbolizes the broken legacy, the fractured bloodline, the idea that even in death, the father cannot hold his family together. It is a visual prophecy. This family is no longer one dot in episode 3. Every theme and symbol works like a thread pulling the story tighter. Blood as curse, inheritance as poison, silence as destruction, loyalty as betrayal. The table, the letter, the shadow, the portrait, all reminders that this is not just a family drama, but a tragedy unraveling piece by piece. And by the end, it is clear, nothing here is accidental. Every wound bleeds deeper meaning. Asterisk, the trailer for episode 4 doesn't whisper, it roars. In just a few fleeting moments, it promises betrayal, heartbreak, and a level of chaos the family has never seen before. Every frame feels deliberate, every word loaded with meaning, and together they paint a picture of a storm about to tear the bloodline apart. The trailer begins with a chilling image: the family home, once bathed in warm light, now shone under the cover of rain and thunder. This shift in setting is no accident. Where episode 3 ended with silence, episode 4 opens with noise, nature itself reflecting the turmoil within the family. The house doesn't feel like a sanctuary anymore. It feels like a prison where shadows gather in every corner. The rain pounding against the windows becomes a symbol of cleansing, but also of drowning. Will the storm wash away their sins or bury them under the flood? Then comes the first true shock of the trailer: Raza standing at the head of the dining table. Not Arman, not their mother, but Raza. His posture is commanding, his voice sharp, his eyes unyielding. It's clear the trailer is showing us a man stepping fully into power. He isn't just a brother anymore, he's claiming the role of leader, whether the family accepts it or not. But behind his bold declaration lies a threat. If Raza sits at the head, then Arman must fall. This single shot tells us everything. Episode 4 will no longer be about whispers of betrayal. It will be about open war between brothers. The next moment flashes to Meher, holding the letter again, but this time she looks different. Her face isn't torn with hesitation. It's hardened with resolve. She whispers a single line. The truth cannot stay buried. This is the moment fans have been waiting for. The secret of the father's past, hinted at in episode 3, will begin to unravel in episode 4. The trailer makes it clear. Meher is no longer the quiet observer. She is ready to step into the center of the storm, and with her truth comes the power to shatter everything her brothers are fighting for. The trailer also teases Amira in a new light. We see her in a darkened room, clutching a box of old photographs. Tears stream down her face as she whispers a prayer, but then she suddenly slams the box shut. This quick sequence is powerful. It suggests that Amira, the mother who has held back her words, may finally act. The woman who seemed silent in episode 3 could become the keeper of the final blow in episode 4. If the letter hints at betrayal, perhaps Amira knows the full truth and perhaps her silence was not weakness, but strategy. And then the trailer does what it does best. It gives us just enough of Farid to terrify us. A shadow moves across the estate gates. A hand grips a knife. His voice, low and venomous, cuts through the silence. Debts must be paid. Just 3 words, but they change everything. Farid is no longer a ghost lurking in the background. He is a threat ready to strike. His presence suggests that episode 4 won't just be about the family tearing itself apart from the inside. It will also be about an enemy pressing from the outside, waiting for the perfect moment to draw blood. The pacing of the trailer accelerates after this. Flashing images faster and faster, Arman shouting in the rain, Raza smashing a glass against the wall, Meher screaming someone's name in desperation, Amira collapsing in tears, and Farid walking into the house as the doors slam shut behind him. These fragments don't tell us exactly what will happen, but they build dread. Every flash is a promise. Episode 4 will not end without someone being destroyed. The final image of the trailer is unforgettable. The cracked family portrait from episode 3 burns in slow motion, flames devouring the faces one by one until nothing remains but ashes. Over this haunting image, a single voice speaks. It's Arman's, heavy with grief but burning with resolve. If blood is all we have left, then blood is what I'll fight for. The screen cuts to black, leaving us with silence. What makes this trailer unique is not just what it shows, but what it hides. It doesn't reveal who betrays whom or who falls first, it only hints. But the hints are enough. We know episode 4 will test loyalties, reveal truths long buried, and bring Farid's revenge closer to reality. And above all, it will force every character to face the one question they've been avoiding since the beginning. Is blood truly thicker than water, or is it the poison that kills them all? Episode 4 promises escalation, confrontation, and heartbreak. If episode 3 broke the family, episode 4 looks ready to bury them in the ruins.